What's up, guys? Desert Bee here with some more Sinking City. We're just going to go and check out a side mission, I think. I think it's good. We'll start with the side mission. We're actually really close right here where we loaded into one of the side missions called Lone Child. And so this one is part of the letters from Oakmont, and it says, "The visions are testing me, playing with my mind. My old forgotten fears come to life. When I was small, I was afraid to stay alone. I thought my parents would leave and never come back. Today, I went to the eastern streets of Coverside, and the visions came to on the corner of St. Elmo Lane and Kingsport Street. I felt I was alone, forgotten in a locked room, hungry and frightened. It was so scary to stay inside, but everything was much worse behind the door. Something scratched in the corridor, and there were terrifying screams from outside. I could not run, couldn't hide. I just waited for Mom to return." So that's terrifying. We're gonna go check it out and see what happens. And I did want to point out, last time I was so confused about why nothing really significant happened when I thought I finished the last side mission. We'll see how the little symbol on the top right corner of all of these is gone on this one. So I did actually complete the case. It just doesn't really show up as anything significant. It gives you some XP and you get some items from the caches, and then you get one of these rarities. So they're still good to complete because doing side quests and completing missions is the only way to get your inventory stuff. So I'm definitely gonna do them. They're just so subtle. I'm gonna pin this, and then where are we going? So we got to get into the water. Corner of St. Elmo and Kingsport. Here's St. Elmo and Kingsport. It's maybe in the water, or it's maybe up here. Oh, here's a cache. Thank you. Hello. I don't think I'd be eating anything out of this water. No, thank you. It's like a little... Oh, here we go. I do like that the boat kind of follows you around. So I don't have to... I won't ever get stranded. Oops. So I'm just kind of looking for any symbols out here that might indicate what I'm supposed to be looking for. This is the intersection. So what am I looking for? I can't do the eagle eye thing or whatever it's called in this game. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This has probably got to be something, right? Let me just, let's make sure I'm armed before we go running in there. So I can make one bullet here. Or I can make a couple for this gun. I think this one's definitely the more powerful of the two handguns, and then there's obviously this one. So let's keep this one loaded, I think. I actually have 3 traps. Interesting. I'll try and use those. And then I've got antipsychotics and then a med kit. All right, I think we're set. There it is. There's the symbol. That's the same one that we saw on the other building. So the casebook said something about there's scratching in the corridor and screaming from outside. What's that? Oh, it's just like, what is this house built on the water? It's so weird. So we're just looking for caches, gunpowder, and probably a letter or something. And probably monsters. So far, I don't hear any scratching or anything creepy. be... Why is the thing lit like somebody's here? Ah, I'm being real cautious here. I don't know what to expect. There's definitely an upstairs. Okay. What is this? Electrical fuse box? Alright, let's go upstairs. And that it did say to crouch, and you won't be detected as quickly by enemies. So I'm just gonna crawl. Okay, wait. I hear the clicking and the... Look at that. Oh, Jesus, the visions scare me to death. Okay, okay. What's gonna jump out? There's like kids' play toys in the floor and a lamp, like somebody was here waiting for mom. FM, I do not know where mommy and daddy went. Look at the misspellings. Mommy kissed me on the forehead. Okay. And handed me Mr. Teddy and left so many days ago. I'm all by myself and Mr. Teddy and I are so cold and wet. If you have blankies, I would be so happy if you could be nice people and you find this note. I live in a brown house with lots of flowers, but they are wet and sad now. My name is Timmy, and if you help me, we can be the very best of friends. Please, no more monsters. I'm all red and sticky. Oh my God. That's awful. So sad. Poor Timmy. So I'm just looking for whatever monster nightmare is going to jump out at me. Shell casings and a coil. Still going to crouch through here because I'm being a weenie. Okay, is it safe? Does that mean I'm not gonna get attacked? Alcohol. Can't carry anymore. Hold up. So what can I not carry? Okay, so how it says 0, so it says 2 out of 2. Does that mean I have 2 and it takes 2? I think that's what that is. Coil springs. I can't make another one. Can't carry. Okay. Well, that's fine. I have everything that I can crafted. Okay, so very surprised that I didn't get attacked, but I guess I got what I came for. Let's check the lore. So here's my document. Oh, they're just gonna appear. I like how it's so organized. And then the little symbol's gone, so... Okay, we made it. We survived. Sweet. Now, can I take this off? Delete. Perfect. So, in our main storyline, we need to go and get a dive suit from a factory in Western Grimhaven Bay on Seasmith Ave between Levi Coffin Ave and Deep Shore. Is this pinned? I think it's pinned. Is it on the map? Grimhaven Bay, Smith Ave. Let's see, where's Smith Ave? Wharf, Private, Elmo, Seaside. Where's it? Here's Levi, Smith Ave, between Levi and Deep Shore. So somewhere right in this area. And can I like... compass mark. There we go. I like to add that little like tick to it so that I can sort of see where I'm going on the navigation on the top of the screen. So let's turn around. Ooh. It's a tight little area to be making a U-turn. Oh, I always forget. You have to hold the R2 button and push forward, or your engine's just kind of revving, but you're not going anywhere. So what's going to be the best way to get here? I think if I go... let's just stay in the water. I think it's a faster way to travel if you stay in the water. So let's go down through this intersection, 2 more blocks, and then we'll take a left on Old Colony. Left on Old Colony. You can definitely see a lot of instances where they've reused assets. Like this tree is kind of all over the place and it looks like the exact same tree pretty much every time. Definitely. And also the houses. I don't know if you noticed I didn't point it out when I was there, but the house in the first side quest that we did, the Forlorn Woman, was the exact same house from the apartment or whatever you call it that we investigated when looking for Albert Throgmorton or Robert. I forget which one's the son. So there's definitely some heavy asset reusage, but oh well. Still a really interesting game. Just like vibe-wise, it's so creepy and just dingy and... Fresh fish. Just caught, mister. Oh, look, here's like a market. What is that on the right? That doesn't look like fish. Ooh. You can't actually buy anything from them, but you can stop and look. So we're gonna get back in the boat and take a right. And I'm looking for a factory. So I guess probably somewhere that I can dock, I would assume. Maybe this. Any symbols? No. Don't. I hate that they jump. Oh, I'm just gonna beat it to death. Instead of waste my ammo, you know? Come on, stop. Okay, I don't know if that was the best approach, but I just feel like, I don't know, maybe I should be conserving ammo? Oof. Okay. Whoa, look at all this ancient diving gear. This is so cool. I actually have a humongous back tattoo of an ancient diver on my back. Pistol rounds, shell casings. Yeah, my tattoo has the diving helmet look and yeah, like exactly, well, not the face. More like this diving helmet on like this body. And he's kind of
hold air for a minute.
He's being like dragged back down by a giant squid. More shell casings. So, okay, that suit apparently is garbage. So what's still usable in this place? It appears to be abandoned. Although it still has electricity. What kind of nightmares are upstairs? Okay, looks clear. What about this?
I'm not trusting my life to a rusty suit.
All right, that's fair. It doesn't look like it's in the best condition. But I don't know that we have many choices here, Charles. I can't carry. I think it must be... Where's my inventory? It must be something, maybe like coil springs or something. I don't know what I'm full on. But, like, I can't craft any more of these, and I don't really have a use for them. So, bummer. I hate to leave I hate to leave items behind, but, you know, I can't carry them. More gunpowder. And, okay, this one looks shiny. Harpoon gun, flare gun, diving suit, evidence updated. All evidence collected. Oh, hey, look, another pistol rounds, gunpowder, shell casings. I'm definitely keeping this gun right here. I should probably do this one maybe, but these two seem to use the same bullets, the same amount of inventory, and this one's definitely stronger. So, let's check the case book and see. Here's our diving suit. Diving suit in the same type we used in the Navy, old but in a good state. It should be good. No, I should be good. Down to about 100 meters. Expedition's final dive was made near a cluster of underwater rocks known as the Devil's Teeth. The Devil's Teeth are not far from the Oakmont port. I have the coordinates and should be able to get there by boat. All right. Well, let's pin this and place it on the map. Near the Devil's Teeth. How am I going to find that? The coordinates are marked on the map. I assume probably this. There's no real other marks out in the sea. So I don't know if I can actually place this on the map. Oh, okay. Cool. And what, am I just taking my tiny boat out there? Oh, boat to Devil's Teeth. Okay. I like it. Oh, wait a minute. I had clues. Oh, I think these are the same ones. Albert was the only one saved. The crew were rioting and afraid of his insanity. They cast him adrift. Yeah, these don't match. Okay, so let's go down and see what happened to the expedition crew, the scientists that were just left there. So where am I headed? I need to just make a complete U-turn. Can I just get out and then like... No. It's just a little bit hard to make tight U-turns. Eek. Okay. North Pole ice storage. Now, I guess we just head to the pier. This is going to be really interesting. We get to actually do a dive. And Charles Reed here, he's a... Look at this guy's tripping. Charles Reed is an ex-Navy diver. So he actually has experience doing this. Am I going the right way? Wait, let's remove... How do I take this compass mark off? Oh, okay, that was easy. And actually, let me place... these like really help me navigate because... Oopsies, don't do that. There's a lot of stuff up here on my navigation bar and it can kind of be confusing to know which one I'm after. They all really do look the same unless you have it marked with that yellow thing. Anyways, so Charles Reed is an ex-Navy diver, so this should be really interesting. And I believe the kind of backstory lore on him is that he... How do I get into the port? I think I missed the turn. He started having these visions after his last Navy mission or last Navy dive or something like that. And I think all of his crew died except for him. And then his visions started, and he was mysteriously drawn to Oakmont. Here we are. I can't wait to go explore that lighthouse. I hope we get to. I think we do, but that looks like it's going to be so cool. Oop. So, where's my boat? Pier 3. Perfect. I don't see any actual... I mean, I hope we're not taking that. Oh, am I taking this? The Titania? No. What am I... We're taking a rowboat that's filled with water out into the ocean. Hello? Okay. Hop in. That's outrageous. Oh. Hey, okay, okay. Oh, I didn't even have to drive. Thank God. I thought I was gonna drown. What is that thing? So, there's the lighthouse. All right, I guess we're just kind of out here on these big rocks. Interesting. Look at those. Are those the devil's teeth? Oh, here's the dive thing. This is gonna be so crazy. Is there anything to look at before we go? Here's a... Oh no, I thought that was a cache. Okay. Underwater, here we go. Oh my gosh. How freaking cool is this? I can't see a single thing. I mean, it's interesting the way the holes are in the front of that helmet. How can you see anything? Press any button to continue. Wow. We are underwater. Diving. Let's see what's... Harpoon stuns hostile creatures for a short time. Flares light your way and can distract hostile creatures. R1. If damaged, hold to slowly recover your diving suit's pressure. R1. Okay. Harpoon. Flares. How do I use these? Harpoon. Flare. Okay. Awesome. Underwater combat is going to be less than ideal. It's very slow and clunky feeling. But look at how cool. Look at all these sunken ships. So I think I'm just following the lights. Wait.
This stone isn't natural. Could it be a statue?
Yeah, he's right. I didn't even notice. It's kind of got engravings or carvings on it. Wow, this is insane. Which way do I go? There's a box there, but there's a thing here. Is this somebody's helmet? Or oh, it's like a propeller. Look at all the stuff just floating down here. Oh my God. I don't really know. Oh, here's somebody's helmet. That's creepy. I don't know how much off course I should get here. Like, oh my God. That's an underwater monster. Here's an anchor. What do I do? Do I go down? The visions. I'm losing my sanity. So you can lose your sanity underwater. Look at the, like, tentacles or something of some underwater monster. Ooh, okay. This is... Wait, where do I go? Oh, across the bridge. I almost fell to the depths. This is freaky. Like an underwater hotspot or something right there. My sanity meter is just dropping like crazy. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. There's a thing. An old gun, like a pirate gun. How do I,
He'll see you if you... No! You... No!
Whoa, what was that? I don't know if that was the crew that I'm trying to catch up with or something else. Wait, is that real? Oh my god, it's real. Real life. Wait, it's close. Ah! How do you use this thing? Is it stunned? I really can't tell. Can I just run? Like I said, underwater combat, not ideal. Are we dead? Whoa. Oh, check it out. It just hung my suit there. So we made it into some kind of a cave.
The scientists didn't even take their tools with them.
Look, they're alive.
Gods lean over us. Gods crawl in us. Gods who have marked me as their aphid.
What?
Gods lean over us. Gods crawl in us. Gods who have marked me as their aphid.
I guess that's all he says. Whoa. This is wild. Here's a... Uh-oh.
The suits are all cut up.
So they stranded themselves here, or one of them stranded all of them here. What is this? Oh, just a light. And I forget, how long have they been down here? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, I'm supposed to take a picture. Expedition's last dive. Oh, Innsmouther attacker.
A ritual knife and a cult sign. I think I better show Mr. Throgmorton.
See, I was saying something about the, there's like some kind of a cultist group here. Innsmouther attacker. A photo of the Innsmouther killed in the underwater temple. He's wearing a strange amulet with an image of a fisheye around his neck. For some reason, he is armed with a ceremonial dagger. Yeah, that weird fish symbol is a recurring thing with like HP Lovecraft type stuff. Let's see if I can get another conclusion. Albert was the only one saved. Burned documents. Scientists. Madness emanates from the scientists. Something odd about being in the presence of these scientists. I feel my grip on reality slip when I'm near them. No. Okay, so still can't do any conclusions. This is a big cave. I kind of want to explore just a little bit before I potentially trigger any cutscenes that I can't come back from. And then I'll talk with the rest of the scientists over here who appear to be losing their minds. I'm stuck. I probably should have been paying a little closer attention to where I came from because... Oh, here, this is new. I was feeling a little bit lost. Whoa, look. Whoa, it's like, it's Cthulhu. Look at this. What is all... I don't really know what any of this is supposed to be. Look at the monster, like, crawling. Oh, I mean, it's a statue, but it's kind of looks like it's crawling up the platform that's here. Is there anything else to investigate? I don't see anything. So let me go back over here and see if these guys will talk to me. Who should we start with?
Hark, he comes! The sacred full-bellied bearer of splendor. Take me, make me, I beg you.
Bearer of what? Who are you talking to? What happened?
Our eyes, first, second, third, opened by the aura. You see much, yet do not see the splendid shell of the White Virgin here sleeping.
Cut the horse crap. Give me a straight answer.
Nonsense. But it is meaning that is meaningless. Open yourself. Walk. Listen. Pray. Wake, you holy worm. Take his skin and skull for your home. Take my worship and grant your kindness. I pray you.
Okay. I have no idea what any of that meant. And here's this weird thing. Let me try and talk to this guy.
Sancta Mare, be our eyes, eyes to see the distant stars.
Where is the main scientist? I think, wasn't her name Harriet Doe, actually? Oh, here we go. Another vision. Yeah, her.
Perfectly preserved artifact. Was it the focus of their worship?
So where is she? All right, let's find out what happened. Where do we start?
We enter the temple the moment they take the key seal. Get ready to cut up their diving suits.
Oh, they were followed. Oh.
Forget them! Get the seed and the seal now!
Okay. That sounds like the same voice from the ransacked expedition headquarters, too.
Okay. What? It's shivering. This... No! Get away from me!
I think I'm starting to get the picture.
Yeah, so let's just mark them in order here. They obviously came in here first.
We enter the temple the moment they take the key seal. Get ready to cut up their... Forget them! Get the seed and the seal now!
Okay. What? It's shivering. This... No! Get away from me!
Did they? Oh, that's not the right order. I wonder if they, did they kidnap the doctor? So that's not the right order. Maybe they grabbed the seal.
What? It's shivering. This... No! Get away from me!
Actually, let me see. Let's undo that one. So maybe this one's number 1? I don't know, actually. This is kind of hard to figure out.
We enter the temple the moment they take the key seal. Get ready to cut up their diving suits.
Maybe this one.
Okay.
And then...
It's shivering.
Forget them! Get the seed and the seal now!
There we go.
The expedition found an artifact that drove them mad. Then the Innsmouthers stole it and the professor in one go.
Yeah, so they kidnapped her. What the heck, these visions? Okay, let's check our mind palace. So our casebook now is updated with a bunch of stuff in here. Whoops. And we've got a photo of the Innsmouther, and this means we need to talk to somebody. The Innsmouthers ambushed the expedition on the seabed in the caverns they had discovered. They waited until Professor Doe took the artifact and then attacked. The attackers seized the professor and the object, leaving the remainder of the expedition to their fates. So, what can we match here? We've got members of the expedition who took part in the dive returned witless and babbling. Madness had taken hold of them. Albert was the only one saved. Underwater artifact. The hybrids wanted to recover the strange artifact taken from the ruins and find the one responsible for disturbing it. There's something odd about being in the presence. The hybrids wanted... So maybe these match? Yes. The Innsmouthers know the truth about this madness. They need the artifact and Harriet, the one who took it. The Innsmouthers know the truth. Okay. Okay, so now we get to make a choice. Save the survivors. I can't leave the survivors to die here, even if their madness may influence others. Oh no. So if I save the survivors, they might go back to shore and cause more chaos because their madness will affect others. And we've already seen what happens when, I mean, usually like murder follows, or I could abandon them. Their infectious madness is too dangerous to bring to the surface. They knew the risks. Oh my gosh. How do you choose? Oh, this is hard. What if I like... Wait, did these change? Innsmouther plot? No, these don't appear to change. Just this one. So I have to make the choice. Oh man, that is so hard. The outbreak of madness on the Titania was caused by Albert's presence. The crew exiled him on a lifeboat to stop it. So I don't know if this is locked in. I can still change whether I'm going to save or abandon. And then here, how do I... So the Titania crew went mad and started a massacre in the port as a result. The outbreak of madness on the Titania. Yeah, so Albert, see, this is what's going to happen if I bring the crew back. Albert was the reason that the people on the boat were experiencing a madness, and then they murdered each other on the pier. Albert was the source of madness. Albert Throgmorton was the source of the madness that made the Titania crew kill one another. So it's like, ooh. This might lock in this one, but honestly, I'm kind of leaning toward abandoning them just because they're going to murder each other if I bring them back anyways, or murder other people. Oh, God. It's too dangerous to save the survivors. The Innsmouthers or Harriet must have the answers about their madness. Oh, boy. So did I lock that in? I think I did. Oh, no, I can still change it. So this one right here. I have to save the expedition. I must tell Robert where the survivors are and start searching for Harriet. Oh, man, this is such a hard choice. But I mean, they are...
You see now, do you? The splendid horror of the truth.
I mean, he seems maybe a little less affected and crazy.
Sancta Mare, be our eyes, eyes to see the distant stars.
That one's definitely lost his mind. And see, the thing is too, like... I mean, if you could get them back without... And he has for sure lost his mind. If you could get them back and somehow keep them from murdering each other, we might find a cure. But at this point, we just have no idea, and they're going to cause absolute chaos if I bring them back. I mean, they might even try to murder me, you know? I think I'm going to leave them. Is that wrong? To leave them to their fates? They knew what they were getting themselves into, but did they? Oh, man. Well, let me know what you would have done. Oh, that's nifty. Oh my God, we're gonna get the bends. Charles Reed, you know better than that. Why did he do that? Okay, I guess I'm fine. Let's see. So I need to go talk to Mr. Throgmorton. Innsmouthers ambushed the expedition on the seabed in the caves they had discovered. They waited until... Okay, then they took the professor. How come this is still blinking like I have something... right here. It's... Oh, what's... Robert Throgmorton? No. Okay, it went away, I guess. Maybe it was just these two. So which one am I gonna pin? I need to go... I think I need to talk to Robert Throgmorton first. This man wears a strange golden amulet in his arm with a ceremonial dagger. How do I find Robert Throgmorton's home? I know he told me where it was. Here we go. Yeah, so I need to go here. That's gonna be a long journey. So unless I come across something interesting, I will meet you guys there. Oh, he looks so weird without his hat on. I never noticed that scar on his neck. Whoa. Did we just get infected? Did that happen in real life or just in our head? Okay, so, okay, it actually brought us back to the hotel room. I've already looked at this. Is there anything new? Can't carry anymore. I also can't craft. Do I need a heal? How do I... Yeah, I could use a heal. That monster in the water, I think, got a couple hits on me. So let me... How do I still have 3? I guess I picked one up is why. What's this? Oh, this is my dog tags. Do we want to change the outfit? Currently wearing this one. We could put on the wind coat for a while. I really like this long coat though, and I think it works for this wet, cold city. So. Any new dialogue?
I'm watching you, newcomer.
Nope, he's still watching. Now, we're closer for sure. So let's just head up that way and we can take the water pretty much the whole way. So if I get in my boat, go down a block to Central and take a left, we'll be on our way. Wait a minute. Up a block to Central and then a left. Look at the growth on these buildings. It's just so wild. Central. Perfect. I love how you can see the street signs and kind of navigate. Yeah, see, I don't know if we saw that boat before, this specific one, or if it's a reused asset. I don't know what that docking station was just there. But let's just get up to Throgmorton. What just happened? The lighting got weird. Okay, we're at a fork, so let's go... Wow, look at the water goes all the way up to his place. So let's go right and then straighten back out. And it's raining again. We haven't been here before. This will be interesting. Aha. Oh, look, this is a... It almost looks like a nicer part of town, right? Ferris wheel. There's an ape standing on the backs of other people. That is awful. Wow. Throgmorton. Jesus. Was there anything to see here before we go inside? This looks like it's definitely his manor. Can't imagine anybody else would have these ridiculous statues. Can I climb this? Yeah, look at the buildings out here. This is the nice part of town right here. Still affected. Here we go. Old Grove South. Still affected. I wanted to get up here in this courtyard. Affected by the flood, but most definitely in better condition. I wonder what's up with the Ferris wheel. Here we go. Here's the gate. Do you talk? The Carpenter Manor. So this is somebody's property. Interesting. Okay, well, I thought this was like a park or something. Okay, so let's head inside and see if we can get some more information from Mr. Throgmorton. Oh no. They're having the funeral. Oh man. Oh my god. Open casket. Albert Throgmorton obituary in loving memory. Albert Throgmorton, son of respected Robert Throgmorton and descendant of a robust bloodline. Interesting thing to put in the obituary. Died on Thursday at Oakmont Port, aged 25 years. We mourn his untimely death, but we celebrate the way he lived his life. The Throgmorton family appreciates the many comforting words and prayers sent by the citizens of Oakmont. I'll take that. Thank you. Wow, look at this place. Got a bunch of trophies in here. Hold up.
The mortician has touched him up well.
Yeah, really. Because he's got a bullet wound right in the skull. What else can I look at in his home? That is massive. Nice little fireplace. Cigarettes on the table. This is most definitely the most intact home I've seen in the game thus far. So these guys don't look like they're related. They just look like humans. Okay. Your expedition. Oh man, this is where I have to choose. The expedition members died. I'm either going to lie to him and tell them that they died. And this will make twice now that I've lied to him. Or I save the expedition members and bring them up and infect the city with hallucinations. This is so hard. I'm just trying to think, like, what would the repercussions be of letting them die down there? We can still find the professor, Harriet Doe, and the Innsmouthers who kidnapped her and stole the artifact or whatever it was. But if we bring them up, we might cause more hysteria and madness in the city. But if we leave them down there to die, that's on our conscience because we know that they're alive. And it's possible, you know, if we find Harriet and the Innsmouthers and we figure out what's causing the visions and the madness, it's possible that there may be a cure. Oh my God. This is tough. But I think it would be wrong to leave the expedition down there to die, right? We can't just leave them down there. Even though, I mean, we have to try to save them, right? Okay. Let's go with this one.
I've got news, Mr. Throgmorton. The expedition members are alive. They're on the seabed in the sunken ruins, some sort of ancient temple. They have enough air, but we need to hurry.
What happened? Why didn't the sailors help them?
Why didn't the Sanders left them, which is true, or there was a mutiny on the Titania. Ooh, yeah, it wasn't really Sanders' fault. It was the crew.
The crew of the Titania mutinied against Sanders. The only man who escaped was your son. They put him on a lifeboat.
The mutineers will face justice. Throwing Albert to the whims of the sea, he will be avenged.
Yeah, they're
I'm
already
afraid
dead.
That's not all. The Innsmouthers took the expedition's discoveries and kidnapped the professor.
What? Those degenerates. How did that happen?
The Innsmouthers knew about the ruins, or they wanted to kidnap Professor Doe? Hold on, did they know about the ruins? They ransacked the expedition headquarters, and that's probably where they located, or where they found out who was going to the expedition site and where it was going to be. I feel more like they wanted to kidnap the professor because she disturbed the seal. I think. Or do they just know about the ruins? I don't know, actually. Let's say they knew about the ruins. Because I guess they did.
The Innsmouthers, they knew about the temple. They waited there, hiding until the professor took what the Innsmouthers call the seal.
But how did they manage to catch my scientists off guard?
It seems that after the seal was taken from its place, everyone in the expedition suffered some kind of mental breakdown. The Innsmouthers must have known about that, waited for the right moment. Then they made off with Professor Doe and the artifact.
Drock. The Innsmouthers. Do you have proof they were involved?
One of the attackers was killed by a member of the expedition. I have a photo.
My expedition failed. My boy was killed. This is more than personal, Mr. Reed. This is a threat to everyone.
Yeah.
They have Harriet and the artifact she found, but she may still be alive.
That's why I hesitate to wipe their fish-faced kin from Oakmont this instant. But we won't sit idle. Find them, Mr. Reed. Not the grunts, but their leaders. Infiltrate their ranks if need be. Bring me my professor back.
Okay. Oh, how is this connected to the investigation, or what do I get out of this? This seems a little bit forward and maybe kind of rude since he is our employer, you know? Let's see how it's connected to my investigation.
I'm looking into the madness, not politics and power games.
And your best source of information is currently in the slimy hands of those Innsmouthers. Professor Doe shared the visions. She found something inside those ruins, and now they have her. She knows something crucial, I'm certain. There's also a more delicate matter I wanted to discuss with you, Mr. Reed.
I can be delicate when it matters, so shoot.
I have a colleague, you might say. His name is Herbert Glover. Like myself, he is a collector of fine art.
I'm a detective, Mr. Throgmorton, not a burglar.
I don't care for your insinuation, Mr. Reed. I would never be so crass as to hire a thief. I had a meeting arranged with Herbert, one of great importance, shall we say, one at which he failed to appear. I want you to find out why.
Okay, yeah, we're in.
Sounds simple enough. Okay, I'll do it.
Very good, Mr. Reed. There is one final detail. This case must remain secret, and you must not reveal to anyone for whom you are working.
Discretion is my watchword.
Indeed. Here is Herbert's address in advance for your investigation. You'll find it's fair.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Holy. And grenade. Woo! XP, knowledge points. Okay. And then we got 2 more pieces to quests. A new quest, here we go. And a delicate matter. Awesome. So, just based on what happened here, I do think that my initial choice in the very beginning to save the that Innsmouther, Lewis, because he was telling me that he was affected by the visions, right? And he didn't know what he was doing when he killed Robert or Albert. I forget which one's the son. I think he was lying, because now, based on what we just found down in the cave, I don't think the Innsmouthers are affected by the hysteria. So that means that I saved that guy's life and I was made a fool because he was lying to me.
The door won't budge.
Okay, well, that was all I wanted to say on that matter, I guess. Just to say that if I played again, I would definitely turn him in. So, this is a good stopping point. I'll see you guys in the next episode. I do appreciate you being here, and I hope you're enjoying this series. Catch you in the next one. Hey everyone, Brittany here with DesertBeeGames. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you'd like to help my channel grow, all you gotta do is hit the like and subscribe buttons below. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time for more.